So Jordi, I remember both of us 1 year ago here in this office talking about the new regulation in Brazil. We were already approaching the date, 1st of January. We were already having the first certificate for the market. It seems 1 year, ages ago, but it was
It
intense.
seems a lot more than 1 year ago. I even remember earlier than that. I think it was June, July. The new regulation was. They kept postponing it, and nobody knew anything. The regulation was not out, and nobody knew what to do. So, as you say, all of a sudden it was a race at the end of the year, and definitely created a lot of stress to our team. But I believe we achieved to be in January. We know this feedback from our clients. We were the first aggregator in the market. We had the biggest number of providers already certified. We also certified our aggregator platform, and in the end, we can consider it was a success. But definitely, there was a lot of work and a lot of requests from clients as well.
I remember that the main concern was the new regulation, how much content will get regulated, because it's not an obvious question, and we're still living it up to today, because not all game providers were ready, not all game providers entered the market, not all game providers that were entering the market were certifying all the games. So, and then we are still on this process on getting more and more content. And what you say, that we were able to handle this by the 1st of January to be the aggregator with most games and game provider ready for Brazil.
For me, the biggest challenge has been also that it's a complete different country. It's very different from Europe, even though we have a cultural connection between Spain and Brazil. We could say we are a little bit.
There's some Latin
yeah,
culture.
Exactly. And when speaking with people from there, even our account managers, it's easy to understand each other. But the legal framework, and because from Alea, we said from the beginning we want to have a local entity there, and we did. I think a very good job explaining providers, the withholding tax, all the tax framework, and even now there's some nuances that we didn't even fully understand, and now we have the full picture. But the legal team this time, not only the partnerships team and the sales and account management team, but also the legal team had a lot of work to do.
No, absolutely. I remember because of all this process, all this uncertainty coming from the clients. We, as you mentioned, we were educating provider, but we were also educating clients there, because the landscape and the scenario that we were living there, nobody had 100% a clue of what's going on.
No, and we also learned from clients as well, because they obviously some of our clients, they had very good connections with the regulators for their positioning in the market, and in the end, what we needed to do is to pick different info points. And when you had 3 or 4 data points that were saying the same, then we could believe that this was the right approach, right? And now it's still a challenge, because more and more content is there. There's still some volatility because of the gaming tax. They wanted to increase it. Now, the last update that I have from last week is that they don't want to do that anymore. Let's see. But yeah, and for us it was a big opportunity, I think. I think it's good that the market is growing, because if not, nobody is going to invest on that.
Absolutely. Now we saw, the first quarter of this year was, struggling because the new regulation, less content and everything. But now, from last quarter, because we'll see the scenario Q1, Q3, not just they reach the same GGR level, but they are passing the GGR level. With
less content.
With less content, but with us. That's another good point, that we are providing more content than we were doing before, because we were able to deliver. And in fact, we had some competitors that are also getting content from us, and some competitors became clients, which is an interesting scenario that we are not making names. No? Okay.
No.
Okay.
No need. No, and I think also another point that is interesting to reflect on is local talent. Okay. We are very proud of having the office in Barcelona, and all the tech team is here, but we were able to identify key people in Brazil, even local people from Brazil that are living abroad, but and this allows us to have a better communication with our clients, with providers, and also putting in place a support team that can really work on the schedule of Brazil. This is something I think it's a must.
No, I know, because that's one of the change. We did it even before the regulations kicked in,
Yep.
but we had to arrange all the service level that we were offering there. So giving not just 7 days a week, but also covering LatAm and Brazil schedule. So it was another challenge on top of the whole challenge that we had with the games, with the clients, with the game providers. So it was interesting. And on top of that, we had the federal license.
No, dynamics are very different because they don't have the knowledge, the player that didn't play in land base.
Yeah, correct.
They are new to casino and they are new to online directly. So this obviously is a complete different profile than Europe, and we're seeing that in the games that they play. We have a lot of Asian games performing really well. It's probably one of the most concentrated market in terms of product of games, right?
Correct.
PGSoft, Jordi, Stripe. I mean, with very few providers and very few games, you can have a lot of traffic. But operators are requesting more and more content. So I expect that this big share is gonna go down in 2026.
No, I agree that it's a kind, I would say, less sophisticated player than Europe because it's coming directly from the online.
Yeah.
Also mobile driven because 84%, yes, 84% is mobile. Influencer had a huge weight there.
Yeah.
Payment wise, it's Pix that is dominating the market. It's really an ecosystem inside the iGaming, and it's really interesting our experience there.
The relationship we had with game providers and obviously the team that managed that, it was a key, the key differentiation that allow us to really receive all the certificates as soon as the provider had it. Because in the end, when a provider certifies the games, then they need to send it to all the clients, and then we know we need to do the branded games report. So this, to be live in Brazil under the new regulation, there's a lot of work from the provider, even if the operator takes the games through us, right? So
no,
what do you think about that?
No, absolutely. I mean, it was an effort and thanks to the good relationship with the game provider, absolutely. But I never saw different teams in Alea working so close to achieve a goal like the 1st of January, that was the deadline to go together. I mean, we have the partnership that also we're working with the game provider, the certification agencies as well.
Yes.
That it was a big challenge because we had a huge bottleneck.
And everybody was asking them.
And everybody was asking
having the ability to convince them to put you in priority, prepare all the information so it's so smooth for them to do the integration certification with us, then obviously it's easier to prioritize us if others are not really putting it easy for you. And then also having all the legal entity, all the due diligence, so the legal department as well, signing all the agreements, the local agreements with the local entity, with the providers. It was definitely a very good coordination job done by the whole team.
It's coordination. It was, I mean, they felt the pressure of the deadline, which, I mean...
Pressure was felt. I mean, everybody felt it.
I didn't.
No. Now, it's good that those months are in the past, but definitely the team responded very well. We went for some team building activities and rest afterwards. Very well. It was a good reward. But yeah, we did a very good job.
After having this fantastic year of the first market regulation, now we are looking forward for the next year, which looks already promising because we saw, I mean, the decrease in GGR for the first quarter was there because of all the uncertainty, all the portfolio and everything. Now we saw that we are not just reaching the same level as 2024, but we passed that. So my feeling, and then I need your opinion on that it's going to even grow further. Also because thanks to the fact that we are having so much content to offer in Brazil, we are able to onboard other clients, also other big clients. So the outlook for me for the next year, for the second year of the regulation, is quite positive. What do you think?
I agree. My personal view would be, I agree that it's gonna grow. we are already seeing that, and for us, I think it's gonna be a good year, 2026, because we're onboarding a lot of new clients for Brazil. At the beginning, there were not a lot of operators applying for the license. They were insecure on the legal framework of the new regulation. But now we are seeing more and more. So definitely the market is going to grow. A little bit more competition, which is always good. And I think what it's going to be also a key driver is that as we will have more and more content, and even right now, PGSoft, Pragmatic, and Stripe, they are the top providers for this market, and specific games, they take a lot of share. My belief is that we are going to see other game providers, other games take little by little this market share, and it's going to be more diverse as the players get more and more mature and get more used to this online content.
No, absolutely. That's we're foreseeing that already, because if the path, that's the growth of GGR that we are seeing at the moment will just go there, we pass. But also another trend that I've noticed that what we are always talking about, Brazilian operator moving from non-regulated to regulator because of the regulation, but we are now starting to see European operators entering the market. That's going to be quite interesting because they can bring some knowledge.
Europe is very saturated, and they have money and they want to expand. So,
and they're in a sense sophisticated because they have been working on the regulation for many years now.
And this is a clear advantage.
It's a clear advantage, of course. And we lived ourselves. That's you have to know the market. You don't have to know the players. That's why we have account managers from Brazil, sales from Brazil, because the similarities and the being from the same country has an impact, which is going to be a kind of barrier for Europeans and other countries operated that enter in Brazil. But at the same time, they can bring more competition into the table. It's going to be an interesting outlook.
How to do promotions,
correct,
how to reactivate players, and tech support. If they can build tech support there, they know maybe how to retain better players.
But also acquisition is going to be a challenge for them, because you have to know the culture of the Brazil, plus the limitation they have in their marketing. So it's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting year, I agree. Let's see what we can do.